As wanted to talk about the that um economy, which creating a cycle where there is a crisis. So we have already know that um, our economy is having so much um, boom and burst crisis. Um, in Indonesia, it's on 98. There is a crisis economy, but then we have booming and a little down in 2008, but not it can increase again, but not as fast. But actually, in the world, for example, in America, it take even longer period. It's begin from before the Second World War. I think in 2000, 1927, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, and there is a depression on those time in America. Um, so why this is happening? And then again in 2008, it's going down again. So it's around 10 years. Every 10 years there is what crisis every 10 years. So why is that, and what's the connection between that and the crisis, and why is it the cycle? So I learned this from the Economy Explained. So it's all begin from the um, economic process where economy start with the production, right? And to have a production, you need means of production, which is capital, people, and technology. Um, the first one is capital. It can be money. It can be land, um, and machinery. If you already have machinery, um, and to have this, to create a better or increasing economy, you need to increase one of this, whether it is capital, whether it is people in terms of skill, or whether it is technology. So you would increase the efficiency of economy, which means efficiency, which means that you have a lower input but get greater output. To have a better efficiency, you need to increase one of this. And even to have a production in the first place, you need to have this. And so, yeah. But to have this, people that have not have anything, you need to, first, you need to save, right? You need to have saving to have this in the first place. You first have to save. your money or your things to get this. To you need money to buy things and to buy land, to have machinery, and so on. You need saving or money capital then to hire people and to increase your technology, to have an R&D and to have an implementation of your technology. But then it's all changed by that. With that, you can what inverse this problem by first you get the debt first, and you get the money first, and then you can buy all of this, right? But the problem with that is that there is different in the money movement in the society. So first, let's talk about the saving. In the saving, then your graphic is your graphic expense. Is that you lower your expense. You lower your expense, and then one time when you have enough money, you buy things, then go down again. So it's happened in the future. So for example, this is first year, second year, third year, fourth year, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. So on 7 and 8 years, you will spend your saving. But when you are on debt, the process is reversed. So first you will get money and you expense it, but then you will have interest to pay. So you get your money, get the principal of the debt, and then you need to pay the interest, right? um, and this create crisis. Why this not create crisis? So this one, the debt one, create crisis, but this did not. Saving did not. Why? Why was that? So when you do that first, the one that controlling that you can have the money first, and you can spend it is bank, right? The one, the institution or financial institution which will give you the money first and pay back to them in interest. And the amount of the interest is actually fluctuative, first fluctuative. But why is it fluctuative? Why the interest rate is fluctuative? Hmm. Is it because demand and supply of the money? Yeah, I guess so. But supply and demand of the money is depend on the market, so that's kind of create the cycle. This fluctuation um, is controlled by government. In America, it's via the Fed or Federal Reserve. In Indonesia, it's Bank Indonesia. The heck, I have a problem. Okay, so government via the Fed or via its central bank control the interest fluctuation. Why? Because they are control the amount of money in the in existence, money supply. Why when they control the money supply? Because they have the printing press of money. So by by the law, they are the only one that can print or create money, right? And what those creation of money depends on. So actually, money is also another important things in this. Um, where I need to talk about it as another topic. But in short, money in the new regime of what new regime of fiat money, where the money is not or not backed up by gold anymore. Money would be based on debt. So money will be created on debt. So who's creating the debt? It's the government. So government said that they have debt. They create debt to the Fed, and Fed would create money, would print money back to government, and government would uh, use this money to do its expense, right? Government expense. And then this goes to the people. Well, then the people would pay back to government via tax, which would pay back the debt to the Fed. So the debt would be paid by the tax. So let's get back to our question before. So why is it that creating crisis where saving is not creating crisis? Because that has more risk. As the capital is not created yet, actually, the real capital, because as we know that when you save, actually you have already created something, or already you already purchased something, or you save the thing that already purchased, right? So for example, why then what's the problem here? Then why is this a problem? Okay. Oh, come on. Okay. So the debt is more risk taking compared to the saving. Why? Because saving, you already created the service or product to the world. So for example, when you save money, then what is happening here? Where is the problematic? I had this. Or that you're not creating yet. You're not creating anything yet. But you usually use collateral to back your debt. Let's talk about this later. So first, let's talk about the already created the service or product in the world. So by doing this, you already created the real value of the money itself, because you already giving the service or giving the product. So the value of the money back by your works, whether it's on the service or in the on the product that you created. Back by real what works, let's say like this, where the debt is not, you're not really created, the money is not really created based on the real works, because you're not having works yet, you're just have a promise that the works that you will do would create an profit which you can, which then the profit would be, could be shared between the owner of the capital and the people. But the more problem for that is that the amount of capital that owned by the bank is not actually based on the real works, means that bank did not works, have a real works, so that people would be willing value or have a would have a transaction to get those much of money, would give them those much of money. They would just the money would the money, the real works that bank is really creating is on the percentage of the interest, right? So they are not creating the money for the principal that they hold, and the money that they hold is actually held by the or created by the Fed or the government when they are creating money. So actually, it's all picked up by the government when they pay the back, where they have the backup of the people to pay their taxes in the long run. So the money itself, when they're just getting out from the bank, they are actually not picked up by the real works. So the problem with that, if when hmm, cool. I have another technical difficulties, when the business did not work, what would happen? In when you have your money and you're saving, then you're just destroyed your past works, right? Well, in here, if you do not have any collateral, then what happened is just that you go bankrupt. When you go bankrupt, the money created from the debt did not have any backing anymore. So, for example, you are borrowing 10 million and then you cannot pay it back. After you sell all your asset, you will just get 5 million. After you bankruptcy, you liquidate, you only get 5 million to pay back the 10 million, and you declare bankruptcy. So you are not gonna need to pay back anymore as you already bankrupt. So there is a destroy of value of 5 millions, right? This destroyed value create crisis because the money itself did not have value in the first place. So the creation um, value based on this thing is not really have any uh, what real basis in this thing. And so by this value destroyment, the money values or the system is sucked out of it. When it has destroyed, right? When people go bankrupt. So that's the first problem. The second problem is that the supply and demand. Money versus the products and services. So assume that everything is all right. Then in the first years of the debt approval, usually happen when the interest rate is so low. So we can see here interest rate is the cost of having a debt because that's the amount of money you need to pay off from the possible profit that you can get to pay back from the owner, the real owner of the capital. When the interest rate is low, so this is what happened. 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. So maybe the first 2 and 3 years it would increase like this, right? Whether it is the amount of money and the amount of product prices that also increase, right? And from year on year. So it also would increase in the first place. But then when the interest rate is low, let's get a graphic of interest rate here. Let's make a bit below. Um, Something like this. So it is the low one, it's high one. When you have that, you have money, and then you create a product, and the product would increase, right? So you have money, create product, the product would increase. The more product exists in the market, it increase your GDP, and so on and so forth. But then interest rates increase, or maybe happen other things. Set up money. Should be the expense. And this is the supply of money. Okay, let's make it here. So when the interest rate is low, the supply of money is increasing. When the supply of money is increasing faster than this one, then the amount of the product that created in the market, then what will happen is inflation. You have inflation because you have more money in the supply. You have more supply of money compared to the products, right? And when the inflation comes, or just what um, became a real thing in the world, then the expense is increasing, but your debt, your money from the debt has gone, right? It's already gone because you already spent it in the front, right? You have only less of it. because of inflation, everything increase, including your people. So those would create an economy paradox, right? Your expense is increasing, but you have debt to pay. And the expense is also increasing. Production costs is also increasing. So yeah, that's doomed to happen, right? What will happen to the economy is, of course, what happened is recession. The uh, what the prices of the products is increasing. Well, the people did not have enough income to buy things because their wages is not increasing fast enough. Because why? Because the company use that as their means of entrepreneurship, right? So yeah, and that's why the crisis would happen in the uh, money debt economy, as we already know. Hmm. Yeah, that's it. Bye.